Hey guys, how's it going? It's AURET here. In this Mind Thrive episode, today we're going to be talking about how to become more self-disciplined. So you probably clicked on this video because you know you should be working on a certain set of actions. You know you should be taking certain steps, but you're finding it really hard to do so. Instead, you're defaulting to what you usually do, other habits, like maybe going over to watch TV or sleeping in. So the question is, how do you really connect to what you're doing? And how do you train yourself so that you can work on the things that you know you need to get done? I strongly believe that self-discipline is a skill. And like with any skill, the more you practice it, the better you get good at it. It's a skill that you can learn. It's not something that is, if you're wired a certain way, you're not able to become self-disciplined. I don't believe that at all. I believe anybody can learn to become disciplined through a set of training yourself through building a habit. You might find that you're self-disciplined in certain areas, but are completely bombing other areas in your life. For example, maybe you're self-disciplined in brushing your teeth every morning, but you're finding it really hard to do the tasks that involve working on your passion project or your business. I believe self-disciplined comes out of strongly connecting to why you're doing that thing. Why does that matter to you? And if you don't know why it matters, or if you're not connecting to the importance behind what it is that you're supposed to be doing, then it's going to be so hard to push through those mundane tasks, or maybe they're even tasks that you enjoy, but you just can't find yourself to do them. So ask yourself if you're even interested in what it is that you're trying to accomplish or achieve, because you have a certain set of tasks in front of you that you're finding it really hard to do, whether it's consistently or not, but even to get yourself to do them. Are you even interested in what lies beyond those tasks? Are you doing it because you believe that it will lead you down your destined path, the path that you want to achieve? It will lead you down the goal that you want to achieve. Or are you doing it because someone told you it'd be a good idea to do it? If you know that you really want to achieve a certain goal, you know that you're connected to it, but again, you can't find yourself to get the work done. You're finding it's still hard to crack the whip on yourself and get those things done. You find yourself procrastinating or defaulting to the usual behaviors. Then you might need to look at your beliefs and whether you think you can actually achieve that goal. Because if you don't believe that you can achieve it, if there's some little thing inside of you, even an inkling of, I don't know if I can really make this happen, then that doubt is going to overtake everything else. And that fear is going to pour in, that overwhelm. And these are all thoughts that are going to be going through your head, and it's going to become your story. And when it becomes your story, it's so much easier to just default to whatever the robot mind is used to doing. So it's going to take more effort for you to consciously say, hey, this is what I need to be doing. And it takes so much effort to break out of a habit. This all comes down to habits, to breaking a habit, your habit of procrastinating, and building this new one of self-discipline. So what do? You have to trick yourself into believing that you already have that goal and what you're trying to achieve in the bag. You have to really trick yourself into believing that, if it's something that you don't already believe. And this comes down to, making an active effort to change the way that your brain is wired, and it absolutely can be done. But it can only be done with consistent and persistent action taking. So one of the things that you can be doing is, looking at what other people have achieved that you want to achieve, and just listening to those stories over and over and over and over again. Just researching as much as you can, finding clues to really start to allow you to believe that this can actually happen for you. I also find that any type of little win that you can accomplish is going to go a long way. So let me give you an example. If you started, you know that you need to get a certain passion project done, and your first thing is to wake up at a certain time in the morning, and you're so used to just hitting that snooze button over and over and over again, then maybe don't think about, the discipline in terms of working on the project, but go back to where your day starts, which is waking up. Go back to that and really, really make an effort to try and get up at a certain time, to wake up early. And that little win can eventually carry over into the rest of the day, into the rest of the project that you're working on. And it's baby steps. It really is. I find that when I do get started on something, it's really hard to stay the course. But the more I work on it and the more I see the results of these small little wins here and there, it's encouraging. It's not only encouraging to let me know that I'm getting closer and closer to my goal, but it's encouraging in a sense that I'm working on certain things and I feel like I'm being rewarded. And that just goes back into a positive feedback loop where it will fuel what it is that you're trying to do. It will give more fuel to those action steps that you need to take. And it becomes easier to do it again. This is especially helpful if you started to make an effort at one point to work on something, but you didn't directly see the results of it. I mean, that's in fact the case a lot of the times, is that you need to work on something and you won't see the results right away. And because you don't see those results, nothing is really rewarding those action steps that you're taking, and it's not really contributing to you being self-disciplined. So do something small that will start creating that positive feedback loop. As small as you can, just do something small, whether it's setting 1 hour a day to work on your project, or whether it's waking up earlier in the day. Starting is really tough. It's where the hard part comes in to build this skill of being self-disciplined. But even if you start small, break down what it is that you're trying to do. Start small and get one little thing done, and feel that pride of getting it done, of acknowledging yourself that you made a step forward today. And that's really important, because if you're not acknowledging your progress, then you're just starting all over again, over and over again, because it's almost like you're at ground zero. You haven't realized that you've stepped up onto level 1, and you're still at ground zero day after day. So it's going to be hard every single day. It's like you're starting up again to make progress in that goal. So make sure you acknowledge those steps that you're taking. You can even, let's say you ultimately want to build a habit, want to become self-disciplined in working on your passion project for 3 hours every single day. So what are the steps to achieving that vision that you have? Step 1, waking up at 7 a.m. Step 2, having a consistent place to work at every single day for those 3 hours. So figuring the space part out. Step 3, clearing out in your schedule where you can put that 3-hour time block in your day. Step 4, making a list of obstacles or distractions that might come up that may prevent you from being self-disciplined in this goal that you're trying to achieve. And making a list of those things, and then beside it, writing down how you're going to overcome each of those goals. So you see here, I'm outlining almost like an emergency plan. These are steps, these are little wins that you can take. And once you check off every single one, it is a step forward towards becoming self-disciplined. And every step that you take just compiles itself and it eventually becomes an exponential effort in becoming more self-disciplined in achieving this goal of you wanting to work on your project for 3 hours every day. Visualizing how your day is going to go the night before has also helped me a ton, because it really allows me to play out in my mind exactly how my day is going to start, where I'm going to go the second I finish getting ready and having breakfast, what I'm going to do once I have my laptop open, and really hashing out all of those little details help me to put that plan into execution mode, because I found that the slightest bit of vagueness, like if I didn't know where I was going to go to sit down and work for the day, I would just waste time that day trying to figure out where to go, or I would just waste unnecessary time that I could have spent working on my plan. And because this time was wasted, it was also easier for me to get distracted and be like, oh, I'm realizing I'm hungry now. I'm going to go eat something. Or just like, anything that can pull you in a ton of different directions. It's so much easier to fall victim to distractions when your plan, your vision, your goal is not clear. So the night before, really hash every single detail out for how your day is going to look. Even put in those other things like walking the dog or making dinner. Everything. Your day needs to be entirely planned out the night before so that you know exactly what you need to be working on. Create a timeline for yourself, a daily planner the night before, showing what time you're waking up, what you're going to do between the hours of 9 to 10, what you're going to do between the hours of 10 to 11, etc., all the way down to when you go to sleep. So to summarize, I believe that self-discipline is a skill. It's important to realize that, because if you feel like it's not something you can accomplish, then you will never accomplish it. So it's something that can be learned, and as with anything, with practice, it becomes a lot easier. So make sure you're making those baby steps into practicing, putting the effort into becoming more self-disciplined with the routine that you're trying to put into action. Try different things like setting small little win goals that you can accomplish, that you can say you've made progress towards being self-disciplined in this one thing of yours. And finally, the night before, visualize how your day is going to go. Plan it out in great detail. And I know this may feel totally stupid when you're doing it at first, but in great detail. I mean, where are you going to be between the hours of 12 and 1? What street are you going to be at? What will you have in front of you? Where will you sit down? What will you be eating? Great detail. Just try it, because that is an active effort towards becoming self-disciplined in what you want to do, instead of defaulting to the usual habits or whatever the robot mind has in store for you. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful for you. Please let me know if it has been by leaving me a comment down below, letting me know what you thought, and also be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if I've given you any value whatsoever today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Back from the dead.